Good morning to all traders and welcome to another Markets on Waves. It is today Thursday, the 5th of August, and yet again we have another interesting session with some unexpected moves, making us looking at some alternative scenarios with a different view. With that said, we're going to have a look on euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, the oil, and also gold. Starting, of course, with euro dollar. I've been trying to figure out this structure for 15-20 minutes or so concluded that most likely, and since we're looking at a flat variation over here, guys, in corrective wave 2 or B, and in diagonal, and it looks like it's some sort of open variation with the potentially, this is probably the first wave, second, 3, 4, 5th. I'm going to get B and then we're going to get C. Not necessarily going to get down to the previous low, to the trend line, because as you well know, wave 1 is bigger than wave 3, and what we really want now is to see wave 5, of course, being smaller than wave 3. So otherwise nothing else matters. Otherwise it would be just an invalid scenario. So this downside move cannot get us below 116.80, I would say. Okay, if we go below 116.80, then this is obviously the wrong count. But for now, this is what I'm seeing for this particular market, guys. There is some slight divergence here on the MACD, but I think we've probably got it already priced in, because it looks like to me that this is my 1, this is my 2. I'm going to get 3, 4, and 5. Let me just go a little bit closer just to confirm the waves we are placing here are correct. 1, 2, yeah, that's actually fairly appropriate, because we're probably looking at a flat variation here as well internally. That's probably A, that's probably B, and that's probably the C. This is a running flat variation, guys, yeah. And from there we'll continue to the downside. So I'm going to place my wave 1 and 2, well, the FIBO extension over here. 161 brings it to 118, but with this move to the downside, looking like a wave 3 indeed, because it's impulsive. 118 would probably be the case, at least then perhaps an upside to 118.40 or so for wave 4, and then a continuation lower down to the 200 Fibonacci extension for the completion of wave 1. Then we'll get B and then we'll get C. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing for now, guys, on euro dollar, and this is the change. Previously we were looking at this move ending as a 5-wave move down here, and we're looking at this as a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's still valid, but from what it looks like and from this structure, we might just be aware and be a bit cautious ahead of this sort of interaction, because it looks like it's going to head lower down. Okay, so just pay attention that it's still possible that we're going to head higher without being 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but the probabilities have reduced. Now let's go and have a quick look on pound, guys. On pound, with that leg to the upside, the last leg to the upside we saw, looks like to me that we have ended now wave 1 up here, minor wave 1. Okay, do not forget that we ended a flat over here in pounds, so I'm expecting a continuation to the upside, 5 waves, whether motive or impulsive. Well, it's going to be either impulsive or a diagonal, right, ending diagonal. So you've got this structure coming in now. We see some signals on the MACD and on the RSI. On the MACD is much stronger, and we are seeing currently the correction in wave B of 2. So I'm expecting another 5-wave move down here, guys, and we can go anywhere between the 38 and the 61. Usually wave 2 corrects 61.8. Just keep that in mind. Okay, now do also know that we remain outside this channel, and as long as we remain outside this channel, the bias is tilting to the upside rather than anything else. Okay, now what might suggest that this is 1 and 2, we're going to get 3, 4 and 5 for A, then we're going to get B and C. That's going to be a dip, okay, and then we'll continue higher. This is also possible. Guys, when we're talking about corrections, it's fairly hard to determine what correction we're going to get if we don't get at least 2/3 of the structure, and these 2/3 supposedly are correct. So we're looking for now for a simple zigzag, and we'll see how this pans out in the short and medium term. Okay, dollar yen, a very nice structure as well over here. We're looking at previous time for a triangle and the continuation to the downside. I've seen 5 waves, and this is exactly at the 78.6 Fibonacci extension of waves A and B. Okay, and you remember we're looking for 5 waves down to complete this correction. Okay, and now you see I haven't put the waves here yet. There's 2 scenarios here, because usually my wave 2 corrects down to the previous wave 4, right? So if we want that really to be the case, or not want that to be the case, we can assume that can be the case. There is 2 possibilities over here. One is that we ended and we're going to move higher up, okay, in impulsive wave 3, and that looks like a good impulse. That's why I've placed my 2 over here, because that's my main scenario. And the alternative is a very close variation, that this is my wave 1, we're going to get 2, then we're going to get 3, then 4, and then 5. Okay, and that's going to be my wave C of 2. Okay, guys. But do pay attention that the MACD shows quite a nice signal here for upside. Okay, so again, it wouldn't be a surprise if we got something similar to oil, and I'm going to show you next W, X, and Y instead as well. That is a very likely scenario. As I said before, with corrections, it's not easy to know really what's going to happen. Now, with oil, I changed. Remember, we were talking about this alternative for a while. I changed my my main to the alternative. Why? Because this move to the downside, it doesn't really look corrective, guys. Okay, it looks like we've done 5 waves, we've done a correction very short, and it looks like we're heading down again. Okay, so to me this means that, you know, it's very likely that we are turning here to a W, X, and Y, and we're gonna go probably close to previous lows. Don't forget, we also talked about the chances of this being a success because of the correction that we got in wave in this move to the upside. Okay, because we corrected nearly 75%. So this is what I'm looking. The main scenario that I had before obviously still remains intact. Okay, it could be a case where this is still 1, I'm gonna get ABC in 2, and we'll continue all the way up. But purely because it looks like to me, yeah, 5 wave structure was done already, then most likely it's the ABC that we've been expecting in the alternative scenario. A signal on the MACD as well as on the RSI. I'm not sure why that's not there, but anyway, we've placed it now. And most likely, since we've already done the penetration over here for the pair 1, it's a very good opportunity to look at this particular scenario as a very nice dip in wave 2 before we should higher in impulse wave 3, because that impulse to the upside, guys, is going to be quite a good opportunity. And last, if I'm not mistaken, for gold troubles me a bit. Okay, you remember that we've had the correction ending down here, and we were looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, this attempt over here was stopped. Okay, so now we can look for a flat. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. ABC, ABC, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is highly possible. Okay, and then we'll continue higher. The thing is that we keep receiving weakness here at the top. Okay, which means in terms of upside, which means most likely the chances of going lower rather than higher are higher. Okay, now with that said, we also need to take into account a possible scenario where we indeed finished here. Okay, and this is my 1, this is going to be my 2, and I'm going to get 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and this is the closest variation. Now, an alternative view, should we continue, of course, lower, is that this, guys, is my wave A, this is going to be my wave B over here, or it might just extend a bit further lower. It might become a triangle or some sort because it looks somehow triangular. And we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C. That means that my wave 2 is going to be moving down there, and that is going to be a W, X, and Y. But do not forget, wave X of W, X, Y combination usually does at least the 61.8 Fibo. So I'm looking here at potentially getting up to like 1880 or so, and still looking at this particular scenario, okay? Which means, guys, A, B, C, and then we'll move lower, okay? So this will be all for the day. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask on the comment section. If you have any comments, go ahead and just place them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching, guys, and enjoy the rest of the trading session.